Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another college related video, and I've been enjoying doing these so much this summer. I've definitely missed talking about like college related things. Some of my favorite things to talk about in these videos are college related things. So this one is going to be kind of like some move-in tips. Someone had requested on one of my videos that they would love to hear some tips for making your move-in day a little bit easier and how to make things go a little bit smoother, and maybe some things that I did or maybe some things that I didn't do that I wish I had. So I have a little list here, and I'm just going to talk about some of the things that were really handy for me and some things that I think will be handy for you guys on move-in day. So the first thing that I want to mention is that you need to wear comfortable clothes, and I did do this, my roommate and I both. I know a lot of people are going to feel like that it's like their first venture into college and they needed to look super cute and make a great first impression, and I totally understand that, but try to wear something pretty comfortable. I wore like a Simply Southern t-shirt and jeans and just comfortable shoes because you're going to be making so many trips back and forth to your vehicle, to your room, and then some colleges, I know mine, the elevators were like full, so sometimes you had to take the stairs, and it's going to be very hot as well because it's of course summertime when you're moving in. So my main tip would be to wear something that you're comfortable in, something that's like breathable, and comfortable shoes, because you're going to be walking and moving around and doing a lot that day. The next thing that I wanted to mention is to have a plan before you go into your room, because if you go in with all of your decorations and all this stuff, you're not going to know where to put everything, and it's just going to get really confusing really fast. And then also, if you have a lot of people helping you, those people aren't going to know what to do. So if you have a plan going into your room, then you will kind of know where you want things when you bring them in, where you need to put them, and you won't have to bring things in and just set them down somewhere. You can bring them in and go ahead and put them exactly where you want them. So I would recommend getting on your school's website if you're going to be in the dorms and looking up your dorm. Usually they'll have like a virtual tour on YouTube or on their website of the dorm, and you can kind of get an idea of how things are laid out and get an idea of how you plan to lay out your decorations and your furniture and things like that. And that was really helpful for us. We knew exactly where we wanted our beds, our dressers, all that, and we knew exactly where we planned to hang things. So when we went in, the people that were helping us, we could kind of tell them where we wanted things, and that was really handy for them because no one was just standing around with nothing to do. We kind of knew exactly what we needed to get done. So I would have a plan before the move-in day. The next thing is to clean the room before you bring your stuff in. We kind of did this, but we did bring in some stuff first, but the room is going to be probably dirty because it's going to be however the last people left it. So you want to take a Swiffer, Clorox wipes, things like that, and clean your room before you bring your stuff in, because it's harder to clean around all kinds of stuff. So maybe go up and like Swiffer the floors and dust things and move around your furniture, get it how you want it before you bring a ton of stuff in, because it's hard to move beds and clean when you've already got clothes and everything sitting around. So I would do all that before you bring stuff in the room. The next two things kind of go hand in hand. The first thing I wrote is to pack stuff in totes and your hampers. So these two tips, like I said, go hand in hand. Kind of pack things in the stuff that you're bringing. Don't pack a bunch of boxes if you can help it. Then you have a bunch of boxes left over and lying around. If you pack stuff in totes or hampers or like the drawers that you're going to be taking or something like that, then that stuff's going to stay in your room too, and you're kind of combining your stuff down a little bit. So that was a lot easier for me. And then I wrote below that, like, if you're going to be packing clothes that you want to hang up, go ahead and put them on your hangers. The night before, I put all my clothes on hangers, and I took the hangers, put them all together, and put a rubber band around the hooks, and then I put a garbage bag over it. And I probably had like 3 different garbage bags with like different types of clothes on hangers, so when I went in, I could go ahead and just hang them up in my armoire. I didn't have to worry about getting out my hangers and hanging up all my clothes. That was so easy, and that was a really handy way to pack those clothes. And then the clothes that I planned to keep in those drawers, like underwear, socks, and things like that, I rolled them all up and I put them in my plastic drawers, and then I taped the drawers shut. And so when we took them up there, all I had to do was peel the tape off, and that stuff was like already unpacked. I just set it where I needed it to go. I didn't have to get things out of boxes and put in the drawers. It was already there. So that was really easy and kind of made my stuff a little more compact and easy to carry up, and also easier to unpack. So the next thing is to pack stuff in groups. So pack all of your toiletries together, pack your personal stuff together, pack your desk supplies, pack your books, all that stuff in separate groups, in separate drawers and things like that. Or if you do take some boxes, which of course you probably will have to, pack it all together and label stuff. And that's kind of a common sense thing, but that does help a lot. When you get up there, you're going to know what's in what. And like I said earlier, if you have a lot of people helping you, then those people are going to know what they're bringing up and things like that. And if you have it all in groups, when you unpack one box, you can put it all in one specific area, that instead of trying to have to go all the way around the room and find places to put everything in that box. You can kind of just go to one place with one box, unpack it, and put it in that area and be done. So the next tip I have is to bring up the big stuff first. So if you have a fridge, rugs, bedding, pillows, stuff like that, bring up like your main essential things first and go ahead and get them situated. Don't just like pile them all in the corner. Bring up your bedding and put it on your bed. Put your sheets on, put your mattress protector on, put your comforter on, pillows, things like that. Put your fridge where it's going to go, clean it out, do all that, and just have everything where you want it, so that when you bring up the smaller stuff, you can just keep adding to the room and you're not just piling it all in one pile, but rather you're kind of doing it a little by little, and it doesn't get super messed up, especially if you have a roommate you don't know. You don't want your stuff getting mixed in with theirs, so if you do it little by little, then you'll just get it done and you won't end up having a large pile of stuff that you're going to have to unpack and find a place for. Another tip would be to take a toolbox, and you might not think of this, but you will definitely need like screwdrivers and stuff like that if you plan to raise your beds. I know the beds in my dorm you could raise a little bit by moving the pegs, but you did have to have some tools. So you want to take some basic tools with you to raise the beds and just do things like that that are going to have to be done that day. And then also you want to take command strips, but for me, my command strips didn't work for everything because the walls in my dorm were concrete. So maybe have a backup plan. Something that worked really well for me was poster putty, and that held up both of my canvases on the wall, and it just worked a lot better for me. And then we also used hot glue, which you're not really supposed to do, but it didn't hurt the walls. It didn't peel the paint off because it just peels off when you want to take it off. And hot glue held up some of the heavier things that we had because command strips sometimes won't stick to certain surfaces. So have a backup plan. I know for me, we had to go out and purchase poster putty that day because we couldn't get anything to stick. So I would take something besides command strips just in case if you have a lot of stuff that you're going to be hanging up. And then the last two things you really need to take that day are like a wagon or a dolly to roll things in if you have a ramp on your building. Make sure you have a ramp, because if not, this is probably not going to be helpful. But if you don't have a lot of people helping you, especially, you're going to need a wagon or something for the heavier things, or when you just have a ton of stuff. We had like a little wagon, just like a four-wheel, like little flat surface thing, and we could just set a bunch of stuff on it, go up the ramp and go into the elevator, and it was really handy. We didn't have to like gut ourselves trying to carry so much stuff. But my dad was there, so it was a big help having a man there to help carry things. If you can take a dad or an uncle or a papa, boyfriend, something like that, that would be really handy, because as strong as I like to think that I am, I definitely needed help with like the fridge and stuff like that. So you do want to take someone who can carry that kind of thing, but the dolly and the wagon and stuff like that was really helpful. And then also a step ladder for decorating and just to keep in the room in general was really, really helpful for us to have. So that's all the tips that I have written down for you guys. The main thing about move-in day is just not to get stressed out about it, because you can do it little by little throughout the rest of the week. You don't have to finish your entire room on move-in day and get it down to exactly how you want it. You can do little things, and you can bring other things into your room. You don't have to have everything that you're going to need in the room on move-in day, but just take it slow and have fun doing it. Don't be in such a rush and get stressed out about it. It's such a fun and nice experience. But I think all those tips would be really, really helpful. They definitely helped me out on move-in day and made our move-in day go really smoothly. So hopefully those will help you guys out. If you have more college-related questions or video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure and subscribe to my channel so that you're notified when I upload a new video. And if you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up. And I hope I'll see you in my next jam-packed July video.